So now we are covering lymphatic system. Ready? So as you can see, there are some tissues where lymph vessels are absent. Skin, central nervous system, endomysium of the muscles and bones. Ready? They have minute interstitial channel. We call them pre-lymphatics. So ultimately there is a thoracic duct through various lymphatic channels. Ultimately it goes to larger size lymphatic channels and it opens in a left and right side in left internal jugular vein and left subclavian vein as shown here. On the right side of the neck, head and right arm, the lymph enters into the right lymphatic duct. So ultimately lymphatic returns into circulation through opening in these veins. Now this figure is showing that lymphatic cells, this endothelial cells of lymphatic vessels, by anchoring filament attached to the tissue. So their ends, they are attached in such a way that their ends make a valve. A flip valve. So flip with a fluid or lymph with a high molecular weight substance can enter into the duct, lymphatic duct, but it can't go back because of the flip and closing action of this valve. This is thanks to this slit-like structure and because of this anchoring filament. So that's how the total quantity of lymph made in a day is 2 to 3 liters per day. But all this fluid returns again to circulation. Ready? So now they are talking about the formation of lymph. Now formation of lymph and concentration of various substances depend on in which tissue the lymph is being formatted. As you can see in the lymph of a liver, just like it has a high coefficient filtration factor in the capillary of liver, their pores are bigger. So the interstitial fluid is rich in protein and in fat cells. So that's why the lymph of liver has 6 gram per deciliter concentration of protein, and after a fatty meal, after a fatty meal, it has 1 to 2% of fat. Now, in a previous figure, you see that lymph is connected and passes through the lymph node. So, lymph node act as a checking for bacteria and foreign material, provide the immunity substance. Now, as you see, now they are talking about the factors affecting the lymph formation and lymph flow. So again, like a Starling forces, if you increase the capillary pressure, fluid filtered will be more in interstitial fluid. So ultimately the lymph formation will be more. Or if you decrease the plasma colloid osmotic pressure, increase the interstitial fluid colloid osmotic pressure, or increase the permeability of capillaries, then ultimately the lymph formation will be more. Ready? Now, they are talking about the larger picture. So, as you see, this is a lymphatic capillary. So, again, just like a venous valve, one segment is differentiated from other through this valve. So, what happened? Say in this tissue, because of all this factor we have discussed, the interstitial pressure is increasing inside this tissue and tissue is swelling. So, what will happen? The anchoring filament will pull these cells and ultimately the pore size increasing because of the swelling of the tissue, and fluid will enter fast. So lymphatic formation also increases. Ready? But now because of this valve, just like again the venous system, the muscle pump will act, the capillaries nearby pumping will effect. So the column of lymph pass from this segment to this segment can't go backwards. So ultimately you move ahead and ultimately it move in a greater collecting lymphatic ducts, and in the last it moves, this column moves just like venous circulation into the superior column. Okay. So this was the factors affecting lymph flow. Okay. Just like venous pump, we will call it lymphatic pump. Just like veins, they have valves, and this factor है ना help lymphatic pump. बराबर. The contraction of surrounding skeletal muscle, movement of the parts of the body, pulsation of artery nearby the lymphatics, compression of the tissue by outside the body. ठीक है? Okay. Ready. So in crafts, all this lymph is just our overflow mechanism. Okay. So whatever fluid was overflowed out of the capillary into the interstitial space, it returned to us with excess protein. Barabar? So therefore lymphatic system plays a central role in controlling the concentration of protein, the volume of interstitial fluid and interstitial fluid pressure. So if lymphatic, due to any reason the lymphatic fails, okay, and the excess fluid is not coming back towards the circulation, ultimately the edema occurs.